Well, the right thing to do is not to cut Medicaid, so I'm glad to hear him say that. Manu, it ought to be just a basic foundational principle. It is wrong to cut health care for the working poor, and that's what we're talking about here with Medicaid. My state is a Medicaid expansion state. Over 20% of Missourians, including hundreds of thousands of children, are on Medicaid. And Manu, they're not on Medicaid because they want to be, they're on Medicaid because they cannot afford health insurance in the private market. These are working people and their children who need health care. And it's just wrong to go and cut their health care when they're trying to make ends meet, trying to help their kids, trying to make sure that they're able to provide for their families. So I hope that the House GOP and the Senate GOP will get the message here. By the way, President Trump has said the same thing: no Medicaid benefit cuts. Yes, both of those things concern me. Number one, I don't want to see any more rural hospitals in Missouri or anywhere else in America go out of business. We've lost too many of them in the state of Missouri, Manu. I don't like the idea of decreasing funding for rural hospitals. I'm worried that the House bill goes way too far in that regard. I also don't like what is basically a hidden tax on working poor people who are trying to get health care. I mean, this whole idea of we're going to charge them now additional co-pays in order to access health care. I have to say that just sounds like a tax to me. So now we're taxing poor people when they're trying to get access to health care? I've got big concerns about that. Yo, I'm not going to support this bill from the House in this form. I think that's clear. It's got to change before it can pass the Senate. And I continue to stand by my line in the sand, which is no Medicaid benefit cuts. Listen, if you want to do work requirements, I'm all for that. I bet every Republican and I bet most Americans would agree with that. But we're not talking here about just work requirements. The House goes much, much, much further than that. This is real Medicaid benefit cuts. I can't support that. No Republican should support that. We're the party of the working class, Manu. We need to act like it. Well, I would just say it's a mistake to listen to outlets like the Wall Street Journal, for instance, that never met a corporate tax cut they didn't love, never met a corporate goodie that they didn't absolutely relish, but want to tax the working class like crazy. It's reverse class warfare is what it is. It's taxing the poor to give to the rich. And I'm totally opposed to that. Republicans now, thanks to Donald Trump, are the party of the working class, Manu. You referenced the returns from the last election. The big majority of working class voters voted for the GOP. That means now the GOP needs to deliver for them. And we do that by giving them tax relief. We do that by bringing down their health care bills. We don't do it by cutting Medicaid. Oh, this bill is not going to become law in its current form, not least because President Trump won't sign it. Manu, I've talked to him about this personally multiple times. He has been crystal clear in public, too. No Medicaid benefit cuts. We need to give a tax cut to working people, not raise their taxes when it comes to health care, not take away their health care benefits. I hope this bill will get refocused on delivering relief for working families. That's what we ought to be doing. I'm fine with that. You know, the president has floated that. He said maybe we ought to allow the top rate, to the very top rate for people making over $1 million or over $5 million a year to go back to where it was before. It's like a 1-point increase, Manu. I would be fine with that if that's what the president wants to do. Bottom line is, the focus ought to be working people. Working families were hammered under Joe Biden's presidency. Let's be honest. They cannot afford their groceries. They cannot afford their rent. They can't afford to buy a car. We need to give them tax relief. We don't need to take away their health care.